Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. Today I would like to show you the most easy way to make the Celtic Knot split ring in this demonstration with the Rhino 3D software and the SubD tool. Are you ready? Let's get started. For this ring right here, we have the top portion and also the ring shank portion. The top is going to done by the SubD. The bottom split ring shank is going to do with the basic Rhino nerve surface. So that's starting from the scratch. Let's coming into the top view and use the command for the polygon. On the top right here, the number side, we want to change to 3 for our pattern. I'm going to snapping into the 0 to start it. So depends on how big you want to have your piece. And this is just for our reference. Then I'm going to come in here for using the arc tool. You have the start end point for the arc. So I'm going to snapping into the end point here and end point right here and moving in depends on how you want them to be. So that's it. This is the curve right there. Once you have it, give it a test by mirror that curve to the other side and see if you like the proportion. If you do like it, that's mirror again from here to the midpoint, and then we have that triangle area. If you like the proportion that you have, you can use that. If not, you just need to kind of moving around to get the best proportion that you have. In fact, I do like this. It's more intersect into each other, so I'm actually going to delete those two, this one and this one. And I also later on need to redesign this one a little bit, so I want to make it a little bit puffier, and at the same time I'm going to rebuild this guy to be 7 point and make sure degree is 3. Okay, so now I have that one. I just need to mirror again. Let's go ahead to mirror this guy to the midpoint right here, and again mirror this guy to the midpoint. So actually my Celtic knot will be a little bit fatter compared to the one we just have. So let me hide in this triangle. Once you have this, let's take a look on the perspective. I'm going to turn on this one, and I want to pick up 2 control points right here to make this one a little bit higher. If you want a specific number, you can do is just type it the number that say 1, so you will move up 1 there. Right, at the same point right here, this one and this control point, you want to move up 1 as well. And then once you coming back, like this one is higher, going lower, coming back here, and then this one and this one we want it to go higher as well, so that go 1 like this. All right, so they are kind of intertwined into each other, and we are going to use this SubD for this. So let's go ahead to pick up them. A lot of times the student asks me, can this has to be the SubD curve? Not necessary. If I turn them into the SubD curve, let me show you. We're gonna come into the SubD, and then right here that you have the make the SubD friendly, and you're going to see them like this. You're gonna see 1 more point right there, and that'll be fine. But if you want to do that, make sure you do that without joining the curve. Let me show you why. If I have this, and then I'm going to use the join command to join them first, and then I'm going to come into the SubD to make the SubD friendly, and you're going to see they are a little bit warping, and then you have this one is pointed while this one is rounded, and this is not what we're looking for. All right, so make sure you are not join them if you want to turn them into a SubD curve. And I'm just going to explode it, and let's try with the SubD curve. So again, come to the SubD and then make SubD friendly. All right, so now this shape is slightly different, but I'm going to pick up everybody and use the SubD command for create SubD multi-pipe. All right, and I'm going to set the radius for 1, and then I want to round end it. It's actually not much of a difference here because it's connected. It's not open ended, and I want to set it for 0. for the smooth it, and you can go in between 0 to 1. So I'm going to type it 0 here, and then we'll get something like that. Notice that certain area, it should be higher, it should be lower. Now, if you don't like what you see there, you do want them to be more pronounced. Let's take a look on the render view right here, and then you want them to pop up a little bit more. Here's what you can do with the SubD. I can come into the selection. I'm just going to select the face. So I'm gonna select this face, and also this face. So they are the highest spot right there, and I'm just going to bump it up, and then there will be something like that. Now if you take a front look at this view, and then you feel like, oh, maybe I want them to be a little bit thicker right here. For example, I'm going to pick up here with all the faces, and I just want to 3D scale it up, right? Try to give it a little bit dimension, and then we'll get something like this. So take a look on the render view and see if you like the shape. All right, so for me, they look all right. So I'm going to stop it right there for this twisting, and it's super easy to do with the SubD. If you are not having a Rhino 7, I believe you can still find the similar program like T-Spline from Autodesk to use. They are really similar. If you are using the metric, I believe they are called Clio, and then it's the same thing. All right, so I'm going to creating a ring for the ring size for 16 millimeter as my diameter, and I'm going to move this to the top, right? And I'm going to hiding all the curve just using the hide command. All right, so now we need to make a split shank. Depends on how you like to split. Well, first of all, I like this one going right in the middle. So maybe I want to move it back a little bit so I get an even distance like that. Or you can just using the align tool to align vertical and just type it 0. It will right in the middle there. And the second thing is I need to draw another curve. This curve is gonna coming from the bottom, coming over here, and I want them to be split about right here and past the point here. So I will have that opening right there. If you take a look on my side, it may snapping crazy right there, right? So to fix that, coming into the right view, just type it project to C plane. This is the command we wanted to use, and we want to delete the input. So then there will be a straight line. Once you get the straight line, we are going to use the curve from two views to creating the ring shank curve. So you got first curve, you got second curve, and then this one, I'm going to mark it into the red color, and this is the curve we are going to use. All right, then we need to creating the profile and double make sure if this is the location that you want. If not, you might need to moving around, and I'm just noticed that my piece might be too wide. I actually want them to be a little bit smaller to be more graceful. All right, so now I have something like this. I need to creating the profile. So let's go ahead to coming over here. I'm gonna use a round rectangle with the conic corner, and I'm going to snapping into the quadrant or the endpoint right there, and to creating a ring shank, something like this. Once I create it, I'm going to move it back to the center. So simply just using the align horizontal center and just type it 0 right here. Now I also need another one for the other side. So that's using a mirror command, snapping into the 0, and then we get something like that. All right, so that's no problem to create a ring, but I do like the ring to be a little bit tapered on the top. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna using the rotate tool for rotate command and snapping into the 0. Make sure copy equal yes on your command bar, and then you want to holding your shift, click here, and also click here. So then you will have a copy there. Now we need to move this copy close to our shank right here. And then I do want them to be a little bit narrow look on the top. And I want to make sure that it's intersect and it is hiding inside right there. Okay, now if that look okay to you, let's go ahead to sweep. We wanted to use the sweep one rail. And we're gonna click on the rail. We're gonna click on the cross section 1, 2, and 3. And let's hit enter. one thing keep in mind, you want everybody aligned to the right place, right? So that's aligned to inside of the ring shank. We want to align here for inside of the ring shank. And the one on the top, this is inside of a ring shank right there. All right, and they are facing the same direction to the left, and let's hit enter. I also want to record a history just in case I wanted to change things. All right, so then we have this. Now I'm looking on the top. Maybe I feel like this is not wide enough. It's getting too narrow, so I can change it since I record the history there. All right, and then, or I can move it to the side so I don't have to see that one there. Okay, and then I'm also going to mirror to the other side using the command for mirror, snapping into the 0, and then I'll have something like this. Okay, the bottom of the ring shank, we are going to use the sweep as well. So let's go ahead to use the sweep one rail, and we're gonna pick up this black one, and we're also gonna pick up the curve, and also this curve right here. To make sure the seam will align perfectly, we also wanted to moving to inside of the shank right at this point, and also move it inside of the shank right at this point. All right, so then we're gonna hit enter to create a bottom of ring shank. All you need to do is cap all of them and bowling union together, and then we'll have something like that. If you like it, you can even do a little bit more design, fill it up the space with the stone setting, and I have a lot of video talking about this type of a stone setting. Check out my stone setting playlist. I hope you enjoyed this video. A lot more trick and tip will share on my membership program. I will guarantee it's worth it to join the program. Not only you will get a lot of my secret, and also supporting me as a small YouTuber so I can creating more video for everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next.